Let's make a start. Now, for the purposes of today's demonstration, I've logged into Dynamics CRM 2015 and I'm connecting to the Australian data centre. Australia is one of only 3 countries globally whereby we offer in-country data redundancy. So the bottom line there is that your data never leaves Australian shores when you're connected to a CRM Online environment in Australia. So that takes a lot of questions around data sovereignty out of the equation. Now, I've logged into Dynamics and I've actually surfaced up my customized dashboard. One of the major strengths of Dynamics CRM as a solution is its ability to integrate with other Microsoft technologies. And as Amanda said at the beginning of the presentation, key strength of Dynamics is to increase sales productivity and ultimately financial performance by leveraging the rest of the Microsoft platform. So I've logged in to Dynamics CRM, I'm in my customized dashboard, and I'm actually looking at a Power Pivot view nested within my dashboard. So I can see key KPIs that are important to me and my organisation. I can run through revenue analysis on a product group by product group basis. I can split between various service lines. So in this example, I'm only looking at public sector. Just wait for the screen to refresh. And once again, I can see revenue as it relates to my public sector business. Alternatively, I could drill down on financial services or retail. So it gives you a good opportunity to see how you could actually leverage Power Pivot and Power BI, which we'll be going through towards the end of the presentation, surfaced within Dynamics CRM. As I scroll down, I can see the other KPIs that are important to me. I've got my accounts by industry, and I can drill down on any of these bar charts that you actually see here. In the centre of the screen, I've got my current open opportunities, and you'll notice that the potential customer, I've got Robin Whelan. Robin's actually glowing green, and by virtue of integration with Skype for Business or Link, I can actually see Robin's status. I can initiate an instant message with Robin. I could call her, video call, or send her an email directly from Dynamics CRM. There's no application switching involved whatsoever. I'm just going to change dashboards now, and I'll go into my Sales Activity Social dashboard. Once again, it'll service up a number of KPIs that are important to me. And here I'm actually looking at my sales pipeline, split between 3 sales stages: qualify, develop, and propose. If I click on the develop stage of my pipeline, right mouse click, I can actually drill down to any of the metadata behind that. So for example, I could see all the accounts that make up the develop stage of my pipeline. And once again, I can drill down further on these organisations and get quite granular in terms of the data that's actually surfaced. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see Yama. Yama is our social enterprise solution. If you're not familiar with Yama, consider it as a Facebook for your company. It enables me to connect to any individual in my organisation or external parties in a trusted environment and connect with subject matter experts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, leverage their expertise in the context of the conversation against the record that's being managed in Dynamics CRM. You'll see more about Yama as we move through the demonstration. What I'll do now is just click on the menu, and you can see the 3 major workloads that are serviced out of Dynamics: principally sales, service, and marketing. Now, you can actually configure any workload within Dynamics CRM based on our XRM or extensible capabilities of Dynamics. What that basically means, Dynamics is being deployed as a grants management solution, student administration solution, ministerial management solution in the case of public sector, donor management solution in the case of not-for-profit organisations. And it's done in such a way that there's very little customization required. It's more of a configuration that's needed to support those workloads. So I'm going to click on sales, and I'm going to drill down to one of my accounts. An account within Dynamics is an organisation. It can be a competitor, it can be a prospect, it can be an existing client, or a business partner. You'll notice here the iconography on the right-hand side of the screen. I've actually got a hierarchy structure that I can actually see. So I can actually see a graphical representation of parent-child relationships. So in this organisation, Fabricum, it actually goes and reports to the Alpine Ski House. Alternatively, I could have a look at another organisation and then see the overall view that Best of Sales, Alpine Ski House, and Coho Winery all roll up into their parent company, Billy Yonder Airlines. So I can see a graphical representation of the relationships and structure between organisations. We can get that down at a product level. We can also get that down at a contact level. So back to accounts again. What I'll do is select Microsoft Corporation. And then once again, my key contact at Microsoft is actually busy at the moment, so there'd be no point trying to contact him. If I drill down on Microsoft, I get an overview of all the information that I can capture against this particular account. Now, we can create fields, delete fields, or hide fields. Bottom line is that any additional user requirements in terms of data capture can be accommodated within Dynamics, and it's a configuration process rather than customization. So here I'm looking at Microsoft Corporation. By virtue of integration with an application called Inside View, which is offered free of charge to Dynamics CRM Online clients, I can actually see from a data enrichment perspective all the public information that relates, in this example, to Microsoft Corporation. So I can see company insights that relates to mergers, acquisitions, the investments, partnerships, cost-cutting processes, etc. I can click over and have a look at the people associated with the organisation. And this is all live data. If I type in my name, you'll see yours truly surfaced up here. So once again, if I click on that, that is my email address, that is my mobile phone number. I can drill down into a LinkedIn profile or Twitter profile. From a buzz perspective, I can see what social media posts Microsoft's saying about themselves, whether that be through LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook. Alternatively, I can see what other people are saying about Dynamics, or Microsoft in this example. Now, we also offer a very strong social engagement solution that measures positive, neutral, negative sentiment based on keyword search criteria that's defined by an operator. From there, you can measure brand attractors, brand ambassadors, and get a real feeling for the pulse of what your clients and prospects are saying about your particular product or service, as an example. From a site analytics perspective, I can actually see how many people are actually hitting the Microsoft.com website. So we can see May 15th, we've had just on 50 million hits, and around June, July period, that went up to around 120 million hits. And that was principally in relation to the significant financial statements that were reported at that particular point in time. Now, what we also have the ability to do is synchronize this data. So from a data entry perspective, I'm yet to meet anybody that actually enjoys data entry, but data completeness is very important. Through the synchronization capability, I can actually pull data from external sources and populate the Microsoft account form. So I can see the Microsoft Corporation, their ownership, ticker signal, etc., etc. And I can actually pull that over and update that account within Dynamics CRM. As an example, and I'll do this in a live environment, I'm going to create a new account. Now, I was doing a demonstration in Queensland just recently. The organisation that I was presenting to was an existing Dynamics client, and they were Tourism Queensland. So I'm just going to create their account. Tourism Queensland, and hit save. Now, we'll just let nature take its course, social insights will kick in, and we can see that, yep, we've got Tourism Queensland. I can drill down and have a look at their people, but I can see that their postal address, their phone number, their website has come over. If I click on people, I can see all the employees of Tourism Queensland. And once again, I can actually drill down on any of these people. For example, I'm connected via LinkedIn to Liam Covington. I can actually drill down and have a look at her profile, both at LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook if she actually had one. If I wanted to email Leanne, I could do so directly from here, or I could call her directly leveraging Skype for Business. So what I'll just do is synchronize this record. And these are the fields that I do want to populate Dynamics with, so I'll just click on Update Account. Give that 5 seconds to run, and we'll be returned to Tourism Queensland account within Dynamics. Retry. Let that run. We'll go back to our account, and Tourism Queensland will be populated. So you can see that that data has automatically come over based on me just entering in the account name, Tourism Queensland. If I wanted to add Leanne to Dynamics CRM, I could once again synchronize that record. But what I've asked Dynamics to do in this example is, from a data duplication perspective, to make sure that Leanne doesn't actually exist in Dynamics CRM. And as you can see, that we've got no matching contacts or leads for her, so I'm going to create a new contact. So now I'm going to create Leanne as a contact within Dynamics CRM. So if I go to my contacts record, we should see Leanne, and I'll do a quick search for her. And we've got Leanne Coddington from Tourism Queensland, located in Brisbane, with her phone number and email address. So once again, there was no data actually required there. So from a sales productivity perspective, it means your salespeople, your BDMs, your account executives aren't tied to their laptops or tablet devices entering in data, but the organisation still benefits from a completion of data perspective. Let's go in and bring up Tourism Queensland account. Now from here, I actually want to create a new opportunity. So within Dynamics, from a sales perspective, we manage leads, we manage opportunities, we manage orders, etc. And it really can be configured to suit the requirements that we're actually needing Dynamics to manage. So what I'll do is create a new opportunity. I can do that by clicking my quick create icon. And it could be sell services or seal services, because I can't type. Wherever you see in Dynamics a red asterisk is the minimum amount of information we need, in this example, to create a new opportunity. So I'll save that record now. If I actually go in and open up the opportunity proper, I then get to populate more data associated with this services opportunity. Now, what you'll notice running left to right of the screen is our opportunity business process bar. And you can see here I've got qualification stage, develop stage, propose and close stages. Now these stages are completely configurable to suit your business requirements, and they're surfaced in opportunity forms and service management, case management forms. You can apply these business processes to any customized form also. And you can see that the software is actually prompting you to enter data and perform activities associated with progressing this opportunity. So, if we assume that we do have a budget of $100, all well is good. I can then go and complete the purchase process stage and we're happy. But note what happens to the business process bar if I enter in a larger opportunity amount. The software is prompting us now to define our services review. And we can then determine what service are we actually going to provide them. So the software is prompting me to enter data based on conditional data that I've actually entered in the software. If I specify that yes, this is a corporate advisory service that we'll be providing to Tourism Queensland, when I flag that as yes, we then are prompted with another stage, and that is to enter in the service summary, estimated completion date, estimated commencement date, etc. So you can see that the software is guiding me down a path of tasks and activities. If I was a new user to this account and this opportunity, and I was taking over the reins from somebody who's gone on leave, etc., I can see at a glance what tasks and activities have been completed and what tasks and activities associated with progressing this opportunity are outstanding. So it's really guiding me through that process. Let's look at some other features while I'm actually in opportunities. I've got the list of all the opportunities that are mine. Alternatively, I can change the view and see all opportunities set to close in the current fiscal year, or opportunities closing next month. Now, once again, these are completely configurable. What I will do is open up a view that I created previously to this demonstration, and I'm just looking at a view of opportunities with address and a close date. And what I will do is just click on the Export to Excel icon. Exporting data to Excel used to be exciting 10 years ago. Now we don't get the wow factor that we used to get. It seems every software vendor integrates with Excel, and that's not a bad thing. Where we offer some uniqueness is that we can actually create a dynamic worksheet. That is, I can actually send this data over into Excel, but maintain a relationship between my source data in Dynamics and the data that's represented in Excel. So if there's any changes to the data in Dynamics, they're immediately reflected within the Excel spreadsheet. So nothing never gets out of sync, and it alleviates what we actually call Excel hell, where people have downloaded multiple versions of data into an Excel spreadsheet, and they're working with multiple versions of the truth. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to select the static worksheet, and I'm going to bring this data over, and it's just on 209 records. Try that again. And I'll just click on Open. And we're firing up Excel, and we're looking at this data that has just come over from Dynamics. What I will do is just highlight the first few columns. And what I'm going to do is insert a Power Map. Power Maps is an offering that's available in Excel 2013 as standard. It's available as a free download in Excel 2010. But particularly if we're analysing data that has locations, specifically geographic locations, latitude, longitude, I can actually see it, as you're seeing here, mapped out in the global view. Now, what I'm just going to do is click Next, and I actually want to start to populate this globe. So I want to look at my estimated close date, which I'll drag into my time parameter. I'm going to have a look at the estimated revenue, which I'll define as the height of the graph, but then also the current status, open, closed, won, etc., as a category. So we can see opportunities that are cancelled, in progress, outsold, or where we've actually won. And so now, if I just zoom in, and just click on play, you'll see those time slices actually kick in. So you can see that the graphs are being populated based on the estimated close date of the opportunity data that we brought over. And once again, you can get quite a granular view, so I can keep drilling down. I'm using keyboard and mouse, but now I'm actually going to use my touch-enabled device. And you can see that once again, build in over time. You can actually get this down to a street view level, should you so desire. So from a management reporting perspective, we've got a lot more power at our fingertips. You don't necessarily need to be a programmer. You just don't necessarily need to know the detailed structure of the data that you're actually working with. And you can put forward some pretty compelling reports. Let's shut that down again. So as I mentioned before, the ability to actually bring data over from a dynamic perspective. So I'm going to create a dynamic worksheet now. And it's the same process as before. I'll just click on Export. I do have the opportunity to add or remove columns. and we'll bring that data over. Now, under the data icon, we have the ability to refresh from CRM. So if any operators are in Dynamic CRM, modifying the data associated with these opportunities by clicking on refresh from CRM, I'd see those changes directly in the Excel spreadsheet, as I mentioned before, specifically designed to alleviate Excel help. All well and good. So, brief summary, we've just covered off integration with Power Pivot, with Power Maps. We've had a look at the business process bar. We touched briefly on social enterprise Yama. We had a look at some of the dashboard capabilities, and we saw how we could minimize data entry by leveraging social insights. Let's have a look now at our mobile client. And I'm just going to change screens. This is the mobile client for tablets. We also offer a mobile client for smartphone devices. And quite frankly, we don't care on what platform, so iOS, Android, and of course, Windows devices are absolutely supported. Key differentiator with our mobile applications is that we don't charge you any extra. They're free for download from your respective app stores. And from here, I'm looking at my sales dashboard. And I've got the same functionality that I had from within Dynamic CRM. So I'm looking at my current opportunities in develop stage, and I can drill down on these opportunities should I need to. So alternatively, whole application stage, I can drill down and get down to this opportunity. And you'll notice that that process bar comes with the data also. So all the functionality that you get in Dynamic CRM, you get in the mobile application. Now, if I'd cached data into the mobile client, that would enable me to go offline. I can work in offline mode. I can create new accounts, create new records, and they're saved as draft. Then when I do have internet connectivity, those drafts are uploaded and synchronized with Dynamic CRM. It's the same functionality across the board, whether it be a mobile device or whether it be a tablet device. That's just an example of the mobile client. What we'll finish up on now is the Power BI environment. So with Power BI, we have the ability to pre-populate a number of dashboards that come out of the box. So here I'm looking at my Sales Manager dashboard with data populated from Dynamic CRM. Now, once I put this data over, if I select Get Data, I can specify my data sources so I can connect online. And these are the data sources that are available out of box, including Dynamic CRM. All very good. We also offer competitive integration also. So, what do I have here? I'm looking at revenue. I'm looking at revenue in the last 3 months. I'm looking at open revenue closing in the next 90 days. Opportunities split by warm or cold or hot. And I can actually drill down once again on these dashboards. I do have the ability to customize these dashboards and save them and pin them to my homepage once again. So then I can actually scroll through and see various views of this data. It's a self-service environment, so ideally the last thing you'd actually want to do if you do have a question is to pick up the phone and ask somebody. With this environment, you can actually manage your own inquiries yourselves. One of the major strengths of this solution is its natural query search capability. So you don't need to be a data analyst, you don't need to wear a lab coat, but what I can actually do is start asking some basic questions about my data. So in this example, I want to know what my estimated revenue is. So I'm just going to type show estimated revenue. There it is. That doesn't really help me. I need to get a little bit more granular. Let's just look at it by account. And I've got a list of my accounts that theoretically would generate that revenue. Well, I want to know who the account managers are and their slice of the action associated with this estimated revenue. So I'm just going to type by owner. So now we can actually see color-coded the various owners of these opportunities and their estimated revenue. If I want to see this data from a geographic perspective in a map. I can say, show estimated revenue by account, by owner, in a map. Once again, we've got that view there. So that's just a classic example of Power BI and having first-class citizen data source such as Dynamic CRM pre-populating those dashboards that we saw before. I talked before about Yama for Business, so let's go and see what that actually looks like. So I can start a conversation. Who knows Mike from Microsoft? That's a pretty redundant question because you'll be able to see that relationship within Dynamic CRM, but with the demonstration, I'll lodge that here. Now, what I will do is just fire up my mobile phone, and you can't see this, but I'm going into the Yama mobile phone, and I can see the question that is just being posted by yours truly. And for the purpose of the demonstration, I'm actually logging in as another user from my mobile phone. And I'm just going to respond to that. I'm going to do call me through. So I've just posted that message. And you can see that automatically it's actually come through. Click to see one new message. Who knows Mike from Microsoft, and Terry's responded via his Windows phone. I do call me through. So you can see how that really enables tight collaboration. And should I need to, I can also get that as an email alert, because I know that we all love receiving email. Whilst I'm in Microsoft Organisation, let's talk about other layers of integration with Office 365. Now, from a documents perspective, I can actually surface up a Sharepoint document repository against Microsoft Corporation. So any structured documents that require version control, revision control, the ability to check in or check out data, etc., I can actually see from this document repository. And if I create a new account, a new opportunity, or a new record managed by Dynamic CRM, that document repository can be automatically created for me. So there's no manual intervention at a programmatic level required to integrate. What we also have the ability to do is to leverage Office 365 workgroups. So we'll just wait for this to come up. I can see that there are no calendar appointments in Office 365 as it relates to Microsoft as an account within Dynamics. But we've also got integration with OneDrive. So when I showed you briefly before integration with SharePoint, that's fine for structured reports, structured records, etc. But if I just actually want to put all my working documents and save it to the cloud referenced against this Microsoft account record, I can do so. So if my laptop goes missing, if I get hit by a bus, everybody's got access to all the data that they actually need. We don't actually lose any data. We also offer integration with OneNote. I live in OneNote, I absolutely love it, and a lot of people do, but we also have the ability to actually synchronize OneNote notes to records managed within Dynamic CRM. So you can see here, it's fired up OneNote. I must apologise for my handwriting, I should have been a doctor, but there we go. But once again, anybody that's got access to the record of the account, Microsoft and Dynamics CRM, have access to all the notes, all the structured reports, and all the minutes of meetings associated